Welcome everybody. We are talking to Slava. Slava works for Oracle, and I would ask you to say exactly in which capacity. What do you do there?
Director software development.
Okay. Meanwhile, Slava teaches test automation bootcamp here at Portnov Computer School, and so my question to you is briefly. Please describe what's in that class and what is the idea of that class and why, in your mind, someone would join the class. So what is the setup, basically?
So this class started with our own experience at the company when we took 2 students from the school and we wanted to make them effective as soon as possible. Mm-hmm. So we put against them some materials and tasks that make them productive, so they can fully play a role as automation engineers and help the project. So after that, we thought, so why can't we use the same approach to any students, as long as they put their time and effort, they go through the process. If they want, they can also get a job in the same field of automation. Mm-hmm. So the class is built in a way that it brings students in the middle of the project, but it starts slow from different areas that important for automation industry mm-hmm. on the market.
Such as what?
Such as how do you locate elements on HTML page? Such as how do you write test cases for automation that would make it very effective to use it for functional testing and connect code to those test cases. It's called behavior-driven development. We use Cucumber for that.
So you do not assume any prior knowledge of coding in that class?
The prerequisites are, so the main prerequisite is motivation and the goal to change the job. Mm-hmm. But of course, people who have QA experience and knowledge of HTML, they have better head start comparing to the rest of people. But as long as, of course, technical background is a great plus, but it's not a requirement as long as person focused and does all homework and additional tasks that are given to grow in that area. Mm-hmm. And we do a lot of practice in the class in WebDriver, in different areas that learn page object pattern. We go with web services, REST API. We look at the overall picture of automation, how it works in continuous iteration, continuous delivery, so-called CI/CD. Mm-hmm. Where is automation placed in that development process? So we look into source control and we look into real projects that can benefit from automation. Mm-hmm. And we start with simple ones and then we grow into more complicated ones.
So is it correct to say that when we teach that class, we basically are creating certain kind of area in the resume which should work toward actually getting the job? It's not purely academic. It is meant to bring people to employment in test automation field.
Like in general, today there are high requirements for even functional engineers to find a job. They're not called anymore manual engineers, they're called functional engineers. Mm-hmm. So a lot of expectations today on the market from QA engineers that they are closely involved in automation and they work with automation engineers together mm-hmm. Towards the common goal to get quality product on the market. From that light, there's a lot of practice in the all these areas of QA engineers and automation engineers in the class.
So let's say if I ask you about the ideal student in that test automation bootcamp, so without kind of going too far away, just basic qualification you really want to see there.
So number one is understanding why to change in automation and motivation towards that.
Okay.
That works in any prior experience in QA industry, understanding what's the focus in QA industry. Mm-hmm. Knowledge of HTML would be a plus that will help to overall.
You mean basic knowledge, not
basic knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
There's no expectations of writing page
Yeah.
HTML, just understanding of mostly XML structure.
Yeah. Okay. So they can find locators in the code. Eventually.
This is reviewed in the class and how to find elements, and
Mhm.
even if you don't have HTML knowledge, that's some overview is provided in the class as well.
Sure.
So that's
Any prior coding experience?
it will be a plus, definitely.
Mhm.
And we go with the group based on average group
Mhm.
experience. So if a group is more experienced, we go faster. If
Mhm.
group is less experienced, we go slower.
So we adjust to specific group of people in the class.
That's correct.
Okay, and in terms of, maybe you can mention money-wise. So where is the difference between manual testers and test automation people? I mean, you mentioned that it's not manual anymore, it's functional, but still, people who are doing automation, people who have an idea of automation but not coding. So money-wise, how different are their earnings?
The difference can be up to 50%. It depends on the job, on the qualification experience. But today, automation engineers are, in terms of earnings, close to development.
How close?
I would say experienced engineer can earn around, let's say, 130K, 160K.
In automation.
Experienced engineer on the market as a base salary.
Mm-hmm.
But that depends on the company, depends on need,
Sure.
and depends on many aspects. But that's something that around that area is achievable.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, in general, it's a lot of pressure on development engineers in the company. It's a lot of pressure on QA engineers on the company. It's not as much as pressure today on automation engineers comparing to the rest of the industry. So the person who knows the code and knows how to automate and knows how's quality QA methodology experience can apply this and have better quality of life and work. That's also something.
So does it mean that developers are moving to test automation sometimes, or?
Some developers, yes, but at the interview, the engineers from QA can win over them because they have QA understanding, and it's important when you write automation tests that you have knowledge of boundary conditions, that you have knowledge of QA, that you know how to write the test case so it would find bugs, not just test code.
So test automation is not purely about coding. It is first of all being in software testing profession, and then utilizing the coding to automate the.
Yes, in our team,
testing.
Exactly. Because when you write automation tests, you also do manual test as well. And for example, in our team, the percentage of bug found by automation team can be 50%, up to 50%. Because when people automate, they also find bugs.
Sure.
When they run reports, they need to go over, report, and see the failed cases and reproduce them as well. Know how to do it, know application, know the QA methodologies.
Okay, guys, so here is the idea of the bootcamp, and we have on our channel the first actually session of that bootcamp recorded, and so you can look at it. It gives you a more in-depth introduction into the test automation, and so if you might be interested, so please contact us. You can go to portnov.com. And look at the contact us, page, so with all the phone numbers and emails and Skype. And I'll see you in the school.